Hello, my name is Eric Walczykowski, the CEO of Bespoke Partners and host of Tailored Talent. Today, I'm joined by Ryan Bonner, the head of our marketing product and tech practice. Ryan, welcome to Tailored Talent.
Thanks, Eric. Great to see you.
One of the things I wanted to kick off with, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey in executive search.
Yeah, no, thank you for the opportunity. I grew up in Canada near Toronto. I ended up coming to the States for university. I ran track at the national level, and that's what sort of opened a door for me to come south. After about 20 years as an operator with some great global brands, a colleague had asked if I'd ever considered a career in the search industry. And of course, to that, I said no, and I had no idea what it was about. So, I spent some time learning about the industry, getting to know a couple firms, and then I ended up about 10 years ago joining Spencer Stewart. I quickly fell in love with it, and it's really a fantastic career for somebody who enjoys variety and learning. You have access to great leaders, interesting companies trying to solve great challenges and drive value creation. And it's a great mix of learning, relationship building, matchmaking, advising. So you learn something new on every search, which I learned to love really quickly.
No, and I really appreciate that perspective. And I think one of the things that I really enjoy about our interaction is your operating background. As you know, I too am an operator, and I just feel that operators can bring a different level of empathy to the search situation because, in fact, we have managed, led, and even held some of the roles that we're searching for. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how you leverage that in your search process?
Yeah, it's a great point. And in fact, for somebody who had spent the majority of their career not in professional services, I had a tiny bit of trepidation about jumping into that at a later stage of my career. But I quickly found that an understanding of operations, an understanding of all the different functions and how they work together, it gives you a lot of credibility, but also allows you to ask interesting questions to really figure out the impact of what you're working on and really the needs of the client. And so that credibility has served me well. It allows me to guide the team that I work with on both the client side and our internal side on different aspects of how to solve a challenging problem. As you know, Eric, there's a lot of nuance to this to search. And some of that nuance comes in the form of art. Some of it comes in the form of asking different questions to approach it from a different angle. And I think that operating experience, both in supply chain and finance and analytics and digital, really served me well for our clients.
No, absolutely. And you mentioned nuance. The next question is a nuanced question of sorts. You had many opportunities transitioning from Spencer Stewart to go to different firms. What
Yeah.
attracted you to Bespoke Partners?
It was, I'm a bit of a thinker when it comes to making big changes like that. And I don't mind placing a bet, but it's important to me to really dig in and make sure I'm making the right move. And for me, Bespoke is just, it's so much different than a big search or other boutique firms that are out there. What drew me here was the thoughtful and rigorous approach to delivery. Delivery is what I truly enjoyed doing in my last firm, but not every firm has their partners really neck deep in delivery. And that was important to me. So when I was looking at where to go next, whether to go it alone or look at another big search firm or other boutiques, the delivery model really mattered to me. And Bespoke is very, very different. And I can tell you that because I didn't stop talking to other firms. It mattered to me. And Bespoke really differentiates itself both in its process and its people and how the people are deployed to solve the problems for our clients. And I'll also say that reputation matters. I've spent a career with great brands. I tapped into my pretty vast network of talent leaders in different industries. And I asked them flat out, I said, who are the firms that you trust to deliver meaningful outcomes? And it was exceptional. Time and time again, Bespoke came out at the top of their list. And that to me spoke volumes as to where I wanted to be because delivery is what really drives me. And a great brand doing it is what made the choice quite easy.
No, I greatly appreciate you calling out the brand. And certainly we've spent the last 12 years building out that brand with private equity firms as their trusted partner in talent solutions. And I think it kind of goes part and parcel to the fact that our partners are focused on execution and solving our clients' problems, not outselling the next search, which to me is a huge component to our differentiator. When you look at kind of marketing and product and tech and how that goes together, what are you excited about building out the practice?
Yeah, obviously, I've built my search portfolio out around marketing, product, tech, but it's worth noting that's how I built my own career in leading digital teams, large teams, small teams, and huge global brands. That's what I enjoy doing because those functions are the ones that have immediate impact on not just the value creation and revenue, but the promise that a brand and a product has for the customer. the customers experience this promise, and product is what delivers it. Technology is often what delivers it. And that to me matters. So I'm excited to really combine these practices, these functions together, marketing and product, and supporting technology around it, because it is such a key component of value creation, revenue, driving revenue, and realizing the promise that a brand has to its customer base and end users.
No doubt. And I think that this unique opportunity, you as an operator, having built strategy and developed and delivered technology against that, makes you uniquely qualified to build this out in the industry that we're well known in. It's software, where it really is understanding the customer needs, developing the strategy to that, and then building the technology to support it. So I couldn't be more thankful for you as an operating mind to be my partner as part of that. So Ryan, as we look at 2024, 2023 was a slower year in private equity software. There weren't a lot of exits. There weren't a lot of new platforms built. What are you seeing in the marketing domain as we head from 2023 to 2024?
Yeah, admittedly, the marketing world has been really had a few interesting years. The back half of 2020, once people got comfortable with where we were in a global pandemic, there was just a remarkably busy, almost frantic surge around hiring marketing talent. 2023 came and businesses became a little more cautious about their marketing investments and teams. 2024 is really active again, and it's quite interesting. There's been a bit of a shift when you think about the marketing functional spectrum. You've got, on one end, you've got the brand and communications. On the other end, you have the quant and growth and demand marketing, with product marketing right in the middle. What we've seen in the last 12, 18 months is really a shift towards those leaders that can come in and focus on the demand and analytics side of growth marketing, because they've got to be close to the revenue stream. They've got to be close to the value creation. And our clients need these leaders that can come in and be close to it. And even if they're at the top of the organization, they need to be close to those functions and those capabilities to really drive that impact and growth. In fact, we took a look at it, and over the last 12 to 15 months, 82% of our marketing searches have had the growth and analytics marketing, demand generation as the spike in talent that is needed for our clients. And so it shows in the numbers that our clients are really, really looking for that spike in talent in the marketing side.
No, absolutely. And I appreciate you pointing that out, because 2023 for these portfolio companies really was doing more with less. And how can you still achieve your value creation thesis? And so, not surprising that the emphasis was put on demand generation, wallet share expansion, better understanding your customers within that. And I think we actually saw some similar things on product and tech, where the investments weren't the same that they had been in the past in 2023, because people were really focused on capital efficiency and growing capital efficiency. But maybe you can give me some thoughts on the product and tech market from 2023 to 2024.
Yeah, again, 2024 is really becoming quite active. And the difference between product and marketing is that the product leaders with a deep experience in either rationalizing portfolios and capabilities across their platforms, or had transitioned from on-prem to cloud, or really grown into a subscription model and having those products supported, those leaders, the demand for them hasn't really wavered that much. And the top tier of this talent market is in high demand. Those leaders have multiple choices in front of them, but they don't turn over as much. The reality is that they need a little more time to bring product roadmap to life, bring the delivery of those capabilities to life. And so the churn of those leaders is not as frantic as it was in 21, 22. 23 was a little quieter, but we're going to start to see the demand for those folks, and the movement of those folks on the product side move again pretty feverishly in 2024.
And what's interesting to think about that is, I believe those roles and the turnover is highly correlated to new platform investments. Because if I'm buying a new platform as a private equity firm, I'm going in with that thesis, and those are the moves I'm going to want to make early in my hold period, not late in my hold period. And so I think that pickup in 2024 shows a lot of optimism around new platforms in 2024. It's very consistent with actually what we're seeing with the private equity firms we're talking to about their pipeline of new deal flow, the robustness of that, and the quality of the assets that they are looking at.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree.
One of the ways we wrap up kind of the first version of Tailored Talent is, give us a fun fact about yourself.
Well, it was funny. I was thinking about that, and I don't think anyone would mistake me for a classic extreme sports enthusiast. For example, I don't want to throw myself out the side of a plane. However, it took me a long time as a kid to find my sport, and it turned out to be track and field, which opened a lot of doors for me. But in that process, I tried everything, and my parents were supportive of me trying everything. And I've taken that into my adulthood, and I have adult children, and I like to play like any other kid, so to speak. And I've hang glided in the dunes of Cape Hatteras. I've done motocross. I've hiked a volcano and snowmobiled a glacier in Iceland. I've done shark diving and surfing and cliff diving in Hawaii. So I will basically, if there's some fun to be had and some fun activity around it, you can put me on the list. I'll be there. And that's what drives me. We all work hard, but I work hard to get, the most out of life. And that's why I love Search, because you can work really hard, but you can translate that into a fun life as well.
No, absolutely. Well, appreciate you sharing that story. You hear me talk often about what's unique about Bespoke Partners is the passionate people that make up Bespoke Partners. We take some of the hardest talent problems in private equity and solve it. But then outside of work, we all lead very interesting and fun lives that we're passionate about. So Ryan, thank you for joining Tailored Talent today, and look forward to having you back next quarter.
You got it. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.